Welcome to the Specific Chiropractic Center's show number 32. I'm your host, Dr. Mike Merkt, and on today's show, it's getting hot in here. Wait, are you talking about the 2000s hip-hop artist Nelly? No, we are not talking about Nelly or that song, and no, we are not going to be taking off our clothes on this episode of the Specific Show. But what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about the topic of fevers. And I think most people out there have a negative connotation or a negative feeling when it comes towards fevers, and rightfully so, because usually if you do have a fever, it usually means that usually you're feeling pretty cruddy. You don't really want to do anything. You're tired, you're cold, you're hot. There's just a bunch of stuff associated with getting a fever symptomatically. But a fever is actually a healthy response. And I know that sounds weird. How can it be a healthy response? Well, here's how it can be a healthy response. And I'll do a little analogy that I like to share with people. So imagine if we're going camping, and when we're camping, the only form of water we have is just a creek next to our campsite. So in order for us to get clean water, we're going to take the water out of the creek, and we're not just going to drink it because it could still be dirty and that could lead us to get sick and stuff like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to boil it in a pan over a fire. And the reason we're going to do that is because that allows for any of the bacteria, viruses, fungus, or any bad stuff in the water to be killed off by the increase in the heat. And that's exactly what the body does with a fever. A fever is a healthy response by the body. What it does is it senses something is in the body, and then it raises the temperature. And by raising the temperature, it kills off that foreign invader, allowing you to get back to being your most healthy self. Although a fever is a healthy reaction, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a good thing to be getting a fever, because it does mean that we are exposed to something, and that something has kind of attacked our body in a way. And oftentimes what I hear all the time when people come into my office and when we do progress exams and when people are under care for a while is they'll always tell me that, hey doc, I haven't gotten sick at all this winter, or usually I've gotten sick 2 or 3 times this year and I'm not sick at all. And by sick, I'm talking about fever, flu, a bad cold, a sinus infection, and stuff like that. So it goes to show that even though I'm not really treating symptoms here, what I work with is the nervous system, that is affecting the immune system as a whole. And research has shown time and time again that when we do affect the nervous system, that it does affect the immune system, and that the immune system is controlled directly by the nervous system. So although a fever is definitely a healthy response, it's something that you necessarily don't want to be experiencing all the time or every single year or something like that, because that means that the body is kind of very weak and it's allowing invaders to come into it rather than using its kind of initial immune responses to block those invaders. So people coming in for care, oftentimes their immune system will get a huge boost, which is always a good thing. I think people really enjoy not being sick, not getting any symptoms whatsoever, even though they might be kind of a good warning signal. But it really allows it so people are functioning at their most optimal potential. And that's what we're really about here at the Specific Chiropractic Center. We're all about people functioning at 100%. That's what we measure every single day in the office, is how are people functioning. And the awesome thing about that is feeling always follows function. So with that, we are going to wrap up the show. This was a little bit shorter of a show than normal, but I think the message that we have is a super powerful one. So even though you might get fevers, it is a healthy response from the body. But at the same time, a lot of people that come into the office won't get sick, won't get seasonal allergies and stuff like that as frequently as they used to do, because we are boosting their immunity, and a lot of those first response immune systems and immune protection is kind of getting ramped up in a way. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite Nelly song is. If it's Hot in Her, then that's pretty awesome, but there's a bunch of other great Nelly songs. Let me know what your favorite Nelly song is. Like, subscribe. See you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching.